guys, this is Christy Fulk with Create with Christy. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in the U.S. Well, today I'm here with my projects that I made for the One Stamp at a Time blog hop in June. Our theme was pick two and something new. So we were supposed to pick 2 core colors and 1 new in color. So what I did, I picked Pretty Peacock, which is a color that has come back and it's in the Regals collection. And I picked a color called Pecan Pie. It's a new color, but it is a core color also, and it's in the Neutrals collection. And then my new in color that I picked out is Copper Clay. And the bundle I decided to use is the Earthen Textures Bundle. This is part of the Earthen Elegance Suite. And I love this bundle so much. This is going to be the bundle I'm featuring for my monthly card club in July. So be on the lookout for that. But if you'd like to make this card and tag with me, please look down in the video description below and click on that blog post link. Now you want to definitely click on that link. That way you can join the blog hop and see what all the other creators made. There are going to be some really neat things. I know it's a lot of talented people in this blog hop. So make sure you check that out. You'll just need to scroll near the bottom of the post to find the list and just click on everybody's names to see their projects. You can also get the supply list there, and I will also have the list of all the dimensions needed for the paper and the cardstock and the DSP, everything you need to get all your things together and come make the card with me. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, first off, I want to show you the Earthen Textures Bundle. Here's this beautiful stamp set, and here are the dies. And what the stamps I'm going to be using, I'm going to be using this one right here. I'm going to be using the Thank You. I'm also going to use You Always Know Just What to Do. And then with the dies, I'm going to be using this one here. Just how to use this one. This one. And this one. I need the grass one. And I need this one right here. And then I'm also using the Stylish Shapes dies. And the one I'm going to be using is the smallest narrow one, skinny one. That's the one we'll use there. Okay, the first thing I want to get started is the stamping. Now I'm using a different neutral for this. Normally I use either white or vanilla. This time I'm using crumb cake as my neutral. And this piece is 1 3/4 by 3 1/4. And I'm going to grab this stamp right here and grab the Copper Clay. This is that new in color. And I will stamp it just close to the middle. It doesn't have to be perfect because I'm going to be die cutting that here in just a minute. So there, we've got that there. I'm going to go ahead and grab the inside of my card. This is a 4 by 5 1/4 inch piece. And I'm going to stamp this. And I'll put it, let's say right about there. And we've got one more thing to stamp on the inside. I'm going to take my Pretty Peacock. And I want to take the stamp that says, You Always Know Just What to Do. Ink this up at the Pretty Peacock. I'm going to put it here along the bottom right of the piece. There we go. So there's the inside of the card. Now there's only one more thing to stamp. This is another piece of crumb cake. This is a 3 by 1 inch piece. I'm going to grab the Thank You. Use that Pretty Peacock again. And stamp this close to the center. And then I'll be die cutting this out too. Okay, now I'm going to get the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine ready for die cutting. So I've got the base platform number 1, the die plate number 2, and a standard cutting plate number 3. I'm going to grab this one right here. We'll see how many we can do at once. Also the Thank You. Got a piece of Pretty Peacock. This one is 2 1/2 by 2. This is going to be for the grass. And then I also need a piece of the Pecan Pie. This one is 2 1/2 by 4 1/4. So let's see if we can get all this on. I think we're going to. I'm going to put the banner from the Stylish Shapes dies here around my Thank You. Get that centered. And I'm going to use Post-it tape. This is what I use to hold the dies down so they don't move on me, especially when I've got stamped images. And this is the die for this one, so we'll get that one all centered. Make sure it's filling in the opening in that die. Okay, I'm at an angle, so hopefully I've got it. I think I do. So go ahead and put 2 pieces here so it doesn't move. Now, if you don't have Post-it tape and you have Post-it notes, you can just use Post-it notes too and tear them where the adhesive's at and use them that way. Or washi tape if you don't have either one of those. Now, I'm going to grab this one here. Actually, we will need to die cut a little bit more because we'll be using some with DSP too. But this is probably all I should put on one at one time. So I've got that on there. You can see that just fits. So if you need to make it a little wider, if you're nervous about it, go ahead and do that. And then I will put this one in. I think I'm going to angle that a little bit. There we go. Then put another standing cutter plate on top. Now, I'm not worrying about taping these. I just need to make sure they stay on the cardstock when I put this down. As long as they're in the cardstock, I'm good. I just always use the tape if I am using a stamped image, or if it's something that I'm centering on a on some cardstock and I don't want it to move. So now we've got this really neat one here. This one is so cool. I'll show you some things you can do with that here in just a minute. Then we've got this one. Oops, see if I can get the tape off of here because I'll need some of that here in a minute. So we've got this one. I just really like the crumb cake on here. That's why I decided to use crumb cake instead of vanilla or white. Then we've got this one here. So thank you fits perfectly with that. And then we've got one thing of grass. We're going to need another one, so we'll hold on to this. We're done with that one. I'm going to grab that DSP. I'll go ahead and put this right here. Then I've got this piece. Isn't this cool? I really like this. This looks really good with the pot I'm getting ready to use. Now I'm going to need two of these. So this one is a 2.5 by 2 inch piece. And I'll be using the small pot die with it. So I'm just kind of put it here to where it looks good to me. I liked having the brown be on the bottom and the little white design on there on top. And I do have the grass there. And I've got another vase to do. So this is out of another piece of that Earthen Elegance DSP. This is a 1.25 by 3 inch piece. And this is going to be the tall, skinny one right here. As you can tell, I've got to where it just fits. So you can definitely make it a little bit longer if you wanted to. But I wanted to keep it at the 3 inch mark because since it's a 12 by 12, it's a lot easier to make 3 inch strips. And I won't waste any of the paper. That's why I did it that way. Now I'll go ahead and run this through. We now have our last piece of grass that we need. See if I can get that out. Sometimes you just have to flick it if that doesn't work. Because my first one came out with no problem. I'm going to grab my Take Your Pick tool. We've got these little holes here. And then it comes out. That helps push it out. And that way you can get a hold of it. And it comes right out. So there's my other blade of grass that I needed. Here is that tall vase. Isn't that cool? I love this paper. And don't forget, the DSP is 15% off if you're watching this in June. So that ends on June 30th, 2023. So make sure you get your DSP ordered before that date. And this is one of the 13 packs that's on sale. So we've got this here. I need one more of those because I'm going to put that on the inside. So I'll hurry up and die cut this, and then we'll do some embossing. Okay, now I'm going to get this ready for die cutting. So I need just the base plate here at the bottom, the number 1. I'm using a new embossing folder. This is a 3D folder. It's called Exposed Brick. I love this folder. I've used it many times already, and I've only had it for a little over a month. So this one, like I said, is a 3D. So the sandwich for the 3D is just that base platform. It is thicker, so that's why we don't need any of the standard cutting plates. I'm going to grab a piece of crumb cake. This is a 3 3/4 inch by 5 inch piece. I'm going to put this in here. This line right here helps me line up that cardstock so it's straight. So I'm going to put it towards me just for a minute. So now I've got that all lined up. We'll close this up. Make sure you lay it down so the fold is going to go in first. That helps protect your folder. Then grab the specialty plate. And all these plates that you've seen me use in this video come with the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. So we'll run this through. And now we have this. Isn't that cool? Let me kind of move it around because sometimes I've got to get the lighting just right so you can see it in the video. But yeah, this is a wonderful, wonderful folder. So if you don't have this yet, make sure you get it. I love it. Okay, we're all done with the Stampin' Up! Emboss machine, so we can put this away and we'll finish this card. Okay, now I'm going to do my card base. This is a piece of Pretty Peacock, 5.5 by 8.5. I'm going to fold this in half. I'm going to line those corners up. As long as you line those corners up, that's going to help you get it folded right in half. Use my bone folder. Okay, so we've got that ready to go. I'll put that to the side for right now. I'm going to grab that embossed piece of crumb cake that we just embossed a minute ago. And then I'm going to grab a piece of copper clay. This is 3 7/8 inches by 5 1/8 inches. It's just a little bit larger than this one because I just wanted a narrow border around this. So I'm going to turn this over. Get some seal on here. And just put this right here in the middle. Okay. And then I'll go ahead and put this on the card base because I'm not going to be putting any ribbon around it. Okay, bring this back in. Make sure the fold's on the left. I say that because I have put things on upside down before and I don't want you to do that. It's so frustrating. Okay, so I've got this on there. This is the last piece of that Earthen Elegance DSP I'll be using. This is a 2 by 4 inch piece. And I'll put this on here. This paper is just so cool. I really like it. I love the texture look to it. Okay, I'm going to put this about right here. So lay that down. Now I'm going to start prepping some of the some of the die cuts that we just did. Now with this one here, you can get a little bit of a 3D look. You can keep it flat if you want to. But you see these little lines in between each little fan, I guess you could say. I'm going to just fold it in a little bit. So I'm going to take my thumbnail, put it right there along that score line, and then just fold it up. So I'm going to do that with all of them. This just kind of gives it a neat 3D effect. And I'm not going to have them folded really tight because then that's going to make it too thick to get in the envelope and mail it. So this is just going to give it a little bit of a 3D effect and still make it so you can put it in the envelope. Okay, so that's just, it's a really neat look. Hopefully you can kind of see that in the video. Now I'm going to go ahead and put some adhesive on this. I'm going to do it lightly. If I flatten it too much, I can always fold it a little bit again. I'm not going to worry about putting any adhesive on here because I'm going to be covering it up with the vase anyway. I'm going to put this up as far up as I can. Well, not quite as far up, about the top edge of the copper clay color layer, I mean. Put this on like so. And this is real close to the edge of the card base. Okay, now I'm going to bring in that tall vase here. And isn't that a neat design too? The designs in this paper is just, I know I'm gushing about it, but I really like this paper a lot. So I'm going to put this right here. So I have it in my vase. And now I'm going to put together one of the little vases. So I'm going to grab my silicone mat. And I'm going to put some adhesive here on the back of this one, okay? And then I'm going to put this right here, having a little bit of the stem show, okay? And just making sure that the bottom of this does not go all the way. It's not going to anyway, but you don't want it to show from the bottom of the pot. Now I'm going to bring in my grass. And I think I'm going to turn this one over because I kind of like them going out like this, okay? I'm going to turn this over. I'm going to add some more adhesive on here, going over the back of the stem of the one that we just attached. And then I'm going to put this right behind here. Kind of angle it a little bit. I want to make sure that it's still not hanging over the edge of the pot. But I'm going to angle it a little bit so it's sticking out good. Do the same thing over here. Have it angled, but I want to make sure it looks like it's in the pot. That looks pretty good. So that is ready, but I want to put this on with dimensionals. So I'm going to turn this over. And because it's a darker cardstock that we're using, I'm going to use my black dimensionals. You can definitely just use the white ones too. But I'm going to put one right here at the bottom and kind of put it over the bottom of this, the crumb cake piece. That kind of holds it on a little better. Do the same thing with the grass. And put one there. Always like to use At least 2 side by side and 1 at the bottom. That way it stabilizes this so it won't wobble back and forth. So that is pretty good. And you know what? I think I'm going to put one up here also, because I want this to be staying up too. So we'll do that. And I think I'll go ahead and put one here also. There we go. And that's also going to hold that grass in place too. Get my Take Your Pick tool to get all of the paper backings off here. Well, if I can get a hold of these last ones. There we go. Bring this in. And I'm going to put it down so it's almost like these two were on a table or something. So I want them to be lined up here on the bottom and overlapping just a little bit, not a lot. I might even move it over a little bit. Well, no, I think that's good. We'll do that. So there, I've got that on. Now I'm going to bring in that thank you banner. And this one is going to be overlapping this one right here. So I only need adhesive, regular adhesive on the back of the U, but on the thank side, I'm going to be putting it dimensional. So I'll turn this over. I'll put a black dimensional. Actually, let's put a couple kind of close together on this end, since this is kind of long. About this much is be hanging over the edge of this. And then this one is going to be just a regular adhesive. Get those paper backings off. Oops, I am not doing very good on this today. There we go. And I will put this on here. And I want to make sure I see this dripping down part here, so I'm going to kind of play around with it, see what looks best to me. I think I'll do that, because I want to be able to see some of this DSP underneath it too. So I'll put that down. Now I'm going to put some bling on. Well, you know what? Let's put the inside of the card in first. Let's grab this. I'm going to grab that last pot that I die cut earlier. And if you're making the card with me, you die cut it too. And I'm going to put this down here at the bottom. There we go. So now we've got a pot for that image. Go ahead and get this on the inside of the card. Like so. I really like the colors in the color combo in this paper too. So now we just need to put that bling on. So I'm using the 2023 to 2025 in colors, the dots. And I'm going to use the copper clay ones. So I'm going to grab one big one. There are 3 different sizes in the colors, in each color. I'm going to put a big one right here at the base of this one. So I know this is covering up a little bit, but you can still see it just enough that it looks good. Now I'm going to take a medium-sized one. I'm going to be using one each size. Put one right here, and then I'll grab a small one. And I'll put it about right here. Okay, and now my card is all done. Now the tag goes together pretty much the same way. I did the pot the exact same way, except I didn't add the grass, and then I put it on with dimensionals. This is the same size banner, but I used the Your Thoughtfulness is Much Appreciated that's in the Earthen Textures stamp set. This is with vellum that has been embossed with the exposed brick 3D embossing folder, and this is a pretty peacock that's also embossed in the exposed brick. And then the tags were actually made with the Something Fancy dies, and I used both of these. So this larger one here is the pretty peacock tag, and this is the one that's the vellum. So you would die cut these out and then emboss them. And then this is a piece of the Natural Wavy Trim. It's a 4-inch piece. I just tied a single knot in the middle of it and then put it on with the glue dot. So I don't have a hole there. It just is a little easier to put that on there. Gives you the illusion of a hole there. And that's all I did with that one. So that one is super easy. Well, I hope you enjoyed today's projects. And if you'd like to stamp along with me again, please click the subscribe button below. And then when the bell icon pops up, click on it and select all. That way YouTube will notify you every time I upload a video. And if you live in the United States and do not have a demonstrator of your own, I would love to be yours. And I'd love to send out your first catalog to you for free. Just click the contact me link below in the video description and give me your mailing address, and I'll get one mailed out to you right away. So let me show the projects one more time. Again, thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to click on that blog post link below in the video description. That way you can see what the other people have made in the blog hop, because you're really going to like them a lot. And I hope to see you in the next video, and I hope you have a great day. See you later, guys. Bye.